Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello dear students, I am Dr. Mona Semalti from HNB Garhwal University, Srinagar Garhwal, and I welcome you all in this module of structure of skin and hair. So dear students, in continuation to our previous modules on cosmetics and cosmeceuticals, today we are going to study about structure of hair and skin. So this is going to be our lesson plan, and after going through from this module, you will be able to know the structure of skin, what are different functions of skin, uh, about different uh, uh, functions of skin as well as structure and anatomy of hair. So dear student, this is going to be our lesson plan. First we will see structure of skin, functions of skin, different layers of skin, anatomy of hair and hair growth cycle. So dear students, as you all know that human skin is the outer covering of the body, and in humans it is the largest organ of our body, and it has up to 7 layers of ectodermal tissues and guards underlying muscles, bone, ligament and internal organs. Because it interferes with the environment, so skin plays an important role in the immunity in protecting the immunity against pathogens and excessive water loss. So moving to the functions of skin. So dear students, first remember this thing, that this question is very frequently asked in the examination. Functions of skin along with the structure of skin. But it may be asked as a short answer. So functions of skins, then you are going to write functions of skins are insulation. As we know, it protects us from the outer environment, temperature regulation, sensation and synthesis of vitamin D. It protects us from the microorganisms and water loss, and it also protects us from mechanical, chemical, microbial and physical influences. Okay, so uh, these are functions of skin. So I'm not going in much detail about this function. Just go through and just remember these 3-4 important functions of skin. Now moving to next slide. This is a cross section of skin. That means skin is composed of. So in this diagram, we will try to understand what are different layers of skin. Okay. So it is composed of 3 primary layers: epidermis, dermis and hypodermis. So this thing you just remember it from now itself, that skin has 3 important layers: epidermis, dermis and hypodermis. So this is the structure, and you can see this is the epidermis, dermis and hypodermis, which is also called as a fat layer. Epidermis is the outermost layer of the skin, and it forms the waterproof protective wrap over the body's surface, which also serves as a barrier to infection. Okay, epidermis contains no blood vessels, and cells in the deepest layers are nourished almost exclusively by the diffuse oxygen from the surrounding air. So the main type of the cells which makes up the epidermis are keratinocytes, melanocytes, Langerhans cells and Merkel cells. And epidermis is going to help you in regulation of the body temperature. Okay, so this is about epidermis. Epidermis is the outermost, as I said, and it uh, uh, is 0.2 to 5 mm thickness it has, and it consists of several zones. So we will not discuss it in much detail, but just remember that it has several zones: basal layer, spinous layer, granular layer, and cornified layer. So this structure of skin basically we are discussing with your exam point of view, because this question is very frequently asked either in long answers or in short note. Okay, if it is asked in short note, so it may be asked that, as I said, that the write about the functions of skin, and in long answer it is asked like complete describe the structure of skin. So in that you have to draw the diagram stating all the layers, and the detailed diagrams with the complete well labeled diagram you have to draw. So moving to the dermis. See, the dermis is the layer which is beneath the epidermis. Okay, that consists of epithelial tissue, and it cushions the body from the stress and strain. Okay, so the dermis is, it is tightly connected to the epidermis by a basement membrane. It contains the hair follicles, sweat glands, sebaceous gland, apocrine gland, and lymphatic vesicles, as well as blood vesicles. So this is dermis, which is the second layer. It is beneath the epidermis. Okay. So now dermis consists of collagen, elastin, papillary layer, and reticular layer. Functions of dermis: protection from mechanical injury, because uh, it serves as a cushion, as I said. So water retention and thermal regulation and sensation. So these are some functions of the dermis. So when you will describe, when you will draw skin diagram, you will draw there, you will show, you will indicate epidermis, dermis. So along with that, it is good enough if you state the functions of these layers. Hypodermis. Moving to hypodermis. Okay, it presents below dermis. Okay, layers of fatty and adipose tissue, and layer cell synthesis and store fat as a energy reserve. So it is also called as fat layer. So it acts as a buffer against trauma. Provides body its contours. Okay, it provides the body its contours. Basically it is a fat layer, and it is also termed as a energy reserve. Now hypodermis, it contains collagen, elastin fiber, and large blood vessels, lymphatic vessels, hair follicles, etc. So this is about hypodermis. And previously in this module till now we studied the functions of skin and the structure of skin. So dear students, I suggest you that please draw the structure of skin 2 to 3 times in a rough notebook with well labeling, so that it is going to be easier for you when you will face the exam. So you will be able to draw it neatly in the examination. So it varies in the thickness, as we are talking about the hypodermis. It varies in the thickness, and it acts as a energy source. Okay, so it helps to insulate in low temperature environment. It is also considered as an endocrine organ because the lipocytes produce pectin hormone that acts as a messenger to regulate the body weight through hypothalamus. Now, routes of skin penetration. So, dear students, uh, we will not go much in detail about the routes of skin penetration because it itself is a very vast topic to understand. But just remember that there are two major routes of skin penetration: the transappendigeal route penetration and transepidermal transport. Okay, so transepidermal route of skin penetration is basically through hair follicles, that is transfollicular, and through sebaceous gland, that is transglandular. Okay, and epidermal transport, there are two ways of transepidermal transport is intracellularly and intracellular pathway. Okay, through intracellular pathway. And this transepidermal root, it is highly permeable and skin behaves as a passive barrier to diffusing molecules and suitable for absorption of various ions and large polar molecules. As you can see in this diagram that there are two different skin penetration routes, transepidermal and transappendageal. So these are two routes. See, as we discussed in the previous slide, transepidermal, there are two ways this you can see in this diagram, transcellular, okay, transappendageal, transglandular and transfollicular. So transepidermal, so basically hydrophilic drug partition into intracellular pathways, whereas the lipophilic drug, okay, lipophilic drug which is not soluble in water, basically lipophilic drugs are lipophilic. They have affinity towards the lipids basically. So they travel the stratum corneum via intracellular route into the dermis into bloodstream. So as you can see in this figure, so the mechanism of action by which the material enhance absorption through stratum corneum is either by enhancement in the drug release. So there can be two different ways to enhance the absorption through skin: enhancement in the drug release, and second is the reduction of the resistance to stratum corneum. So I think this different routes of skin penetration, which is going to help you in the help you to understand better the previous modules which we are coming up with, the different formulations which are applied to the skin. Okay, so and this mechanism of action like absorption through the stratum corneum, enhancement in the drug release, and second way is the reduction of the resistance through stratum corneum, and this can be achieved by altering the hydration of stratum corneum, one thing by transporting ionizable drug through carrier mechanism, or by directly influencing the stratum corneum by any chemical mean or by physical means. So these are few things to know about that, how we are going to enhance the skin absorption through stratum corneum. So dear students, till now in this module we discussed the structure of skin. Alright, we discussed the structure of skin, different layers of skin, epidermis, dermis, hypodermis, functions of skin, and skin penetration by these two different routes, and how we can enhance the skin penetration through stratum corneum. So moving to next slide. So here we will discuss structure of hair. Okay. So dear students, hair is made up of two separate structures: the hair follicle, okay, and the hair shaft. Hair follicle which exists below the skin, and hair shaft which the hair we see actually. So before the hair growth begins, a hair follicle must be created. The very first thing, hair follicle must be created, and the germinating layer of the epidermis starts growing down into the dermis to form the outside of each hair follicle. Okay, now the dermis then grows upward into the base of the follicle to form the dermal papilla, and this allows the capillaries, the blood vessels, to enter in the papilla and provides nutrient for the hair shaft to grow. This is what basically happens. Okay. So now the bottom part of the hair follicle enlarges into an area of actively growing cells. This is called hair bulb. Okay, so all these terminologies you must know, that when you will draw the diagram of hair, so all this then you will label all these things, so you must know all these things in little bit detail. So at the base of the hair bulb, the germinating layer merges into the outer root sheet. Okay, so this is the structure of hair. The outer root sheath then forms the germinal matrix, that is hair root, which surrounds the dermal papilla. Now the germinal matrix grow the inner root sheath. Okay. So this is the white bit at the end of the hair if it's pulled out. So the germinal matrix also contains stem cells. So these grow the hair shaft through the constant cell. Now basic structure of hair. Okay, hair basic structure of hair shaft. It has three things: the cuticle, the medulla, and the cortex. Okay, the cuticle, the outer layer, cortex, the middle layer, and the medulla is the inner layer. So as you can see in this diagram, okay, cortex is the middle layer, medulla is the inner layer, and cuticle it's the outer layer. Okay, so now the medulla is a honeycomb keratin structure with the air space inside, and the cortex gives flexibility and the tensile strength to the hair. The basic hair structure of hair shaft. The cortex is made up of the tiny fibers of keratin running parallel to each other along with the length of the hair shaft, and the cuticle, which is made up of from 6 to 11 layers of overlapping semi-transparent keratin scales. So some with the thick coarse hair will have the more overlapping layers, and cuticles have some with fine hair. So the hair growth cycle. So in here we'll discuss the hair growth cycle. Hair growth cycle, it has a three phases actually, major phases: anagen, catagen, and telogen. Anagen, it is the growing phase and it usually lasts 3 to 5 years, and the hair growth rate is about 3 mm per week. Okay, although the hair grow throughout the anagen phase, at some point the hair follicle starts preparing for the next hair cycle. Okay. Catagen. During catagen, the hair follicles breaks down. Active hair growth stops and certain cells in the hair follicles dies, causing it to shorten. But as it does so, the parts of the outer root sheet stays attached to the dermal papilla, ready for the next hair growth cycle to begin. This is about catagen. Okay, so dear students, please go through from the diagrams, go through from the hair growth cycle in detail about anagen, catagen, and now we will discuss. This is hair growth cycle. As you can see, early anagen phase is there, anagen, and catagen, telogen. So this is the hair growth cycle. Just practice this diagram as many times as you can so that you will be able to draw it very nicely in the examination. Okay, with well labeling. Okay, labeling must be there in the diagram. Okay. Telogen. Telogen is resting phase. Okay, resting phase lasts 3 to 4 months. About 10% of the hairs are in telogen at any one time. So during this time, the follicle stays shortened and the outer root sheet stays attached to the dermal papilla. So when the telogen ends, the hair germ cells starts growing a new hair follicle from the dermal papilla, and the next hair growth cycle starts again. So this is about the hair growth cycle. So in this module till now, let me quickly summarize what all we have studied: skin structure, different layers, epidermis, dermis, hypodermis, functions of skin, okay, and skin penetration through transdermal and transepidermal and transappendigeal roots, and hair growth cycle we discussed, and the structure of hair, hair shaft and hair follicle. Then in detail we discussed about the hair shaft structure. So, and these are the references. So dear students, please go through from the references. So that's all in this module, and with exam point of view, let me tell you dear students that in from this module the question will come like long answer or short answer. It depends on the framing of question, but if it is like draw the diagram of structure of skin, so you have to neatly draw the diagram. As I mentioned again and again in this module, please practice this diagram as many times as you can with good labeling. You should not leave any labeling. You have to mark each and everything in the diagram. And functions of skin, point wise you can write the functions of skin. And same way hair growth cycle also you have to practice it. So these two questions are very common in the examination. They are asked frequently, and both short answer as well as long answers. Okay, so dear students, that's all for today, and stay tuned for more videos on cosmetics and cosmeceuticals, and thank you so much for watching this video.